Hey, Rhetoric and Plant people. So I am glad to have received your papers and I look forward to reading them. I think they're going to be really good and I think I'm going to learn a lot. I just have a couple of notes for you, a couple reminders, a couple thoughts. Um, I've got my little list here. So your final reflections are due this Wednesday, the 6th. So please hold to that deadline. If you're stressed about meeting it, will you drop me an email? Because I have 48 hours after I get those to grade them all and submit grades and pull it all together. So I kind of need you guys to submit the things so I can do the work and we can all be done. A couple things. So your final reflection, if you haven't seen it, I know some of you have, is on the website. So you will be responding to 2 prompts, and the length is up to you. The thing I always try to remind people to do, and I'm doing it here, is include evidence of things you claim or say about your experiences. A story is evidence. You don't have to think of evidence, please, as only like a quotation or a statistic, but certainly also you can pull evidence literally out of the work you did this semester. So you'll see that on there. So read through that to make your decisions about where you have choice in prompts, what you want to choose, and how you want to go about that. And you do have the option of both doing a kind of alphabetic text, or if you want to, do video, go video. And I wanted to just point to 2 reflections I've had if I was sort of writing this. And I wrote this whole long thing as a result, but I'll just share quickly. So I really have enjoyed our class this semester, and we had such good face-to-face discussions, and I do miss that, and I know some of you did as well. And I still think, though, the discussion thread content was really strong. It's just hard to, have an asynchronous discussion in the middle of a pandemic. Go figure. I wrote a little bit about how next semester I did decide to teach a similarly different class. We're going to do Rhetoric of Plants and Creatures, and because I thought we'll just do something else a little different. And I really think it's been really interesting to learn, and really for us to have attended so closely to the way that plants get figured and backgrounded and treated in this sort of plant blindness way this semester. And I thought it was so interesting how, as we were reading Plumwood, it mattered so much to me as in an unexpected way that this environmental rethink that Plumwood calls for is so timely and so necessary and so needed in ways that none of us would have anticipated back in January when we we just went to school. And so I thought that was really interesting, and I feel like I don't want to replicate the exact same course material again to just see something new. So I thought I'd bring in animals a little bit more directly, since some of our early readings kind of tied into that, and I thought that it would just be a little different. And then the second reflection I just had was maybe a little bit about just my experience on this end of things once we went to online teaching, and I was always reminded I do prefer face-to-face. Like, it's just more fun and more engaging in some ways because you have that back and forth thing, and I do miss that, and I do miss your faces. And I noticed too, it's just very exhausting, isn't it, to stare at a screen for 7 hours a day, which a few days that's what I was doing. And also I think that exhausting piece is, it's this uncertainty. It's very exhausting, right? We're all wondering all the time what's going on and how to keep abreast of news and how to separate, news and science from news and fear and all that. And so that's been really interesting and hard. And I realized I've been feeling quite safe up here on this mountain because there's no people ever, really. I went 7 days without seeing people one week, except on a screen. And I know that you too have been having your own different kinds of challenges. And I know I've been thinking about my friends who live across the globe. My family is in Boston, and they're, in their peak this week. And I'm hearing a lot about the 20 pages of obituaries that is showing up in the Boston Globe. So I know we've all had all our own sort of interactions, right, with COVID-19, our own sort of stories with it. That's why I brought in the option for you to write about that. So feel free to, but also feel free to say, I don't want to talk about that. And that's good too. And I think one of my other takeaways is, and really it pertains to my other class, we talked a lot about empathy there in the beginning of the year, and I really feel like even more the need to treat people with empathy is really important. especially because so many people are so afraid, and so legitimately afraid for all sorts of things, right? Economics, their future, the illness itself and what it might mean, right? So much going on like that. So I wanted to really just acknowledge that that's what we've been doing, right? Experiencing our and walking through this experience in our own way and with our people and with our own different challenges. So I just wanted to say, like, I don't know all your stories with that, but I know they are there. And I'm going to get all weird and cry, but I'm not. I'm going to just wrap it up and say I really look forward to reading your papers and the reflections that are coming in. And I hope that you're doing well and had a good sunny day. I found it very hard to grade, but I did it anyway. So be well. Look forward to reading your stuff and seeing more of all of you in the future. I think we maybe only have Mia graduating. So we say, hooray for Mia. And ooh, longest video by Kate ever. I'll talk to you later. Bye.